and we're here with Saksham and Vishal. They manage product and the community for UniLend, which is our first partnership announced for the Bondex ecosystem. They're going to be one of our first clients, as well as helping us with product and launching our job marketplace. And I'll leave it up to them to describe exactly what they do and what UniLend does.
So, Sesam, you can start, I guess, with
Hi,
introducing
Ignacio. Thanks a lot for inviting me and Vishal over here. We are definitely very excited on the entire behalf of UniLend team to join Bondex and initiate this partnership with you guys. So it's very unique to see a talent network platform coming out in the Web3 space, and I think it's a very much needed in Web3 also. So as the ecosystem is growing rapidly. So quick introduction about UniLend and me, then forward to Vishal. So UniLend is a money market protocol. We are a DeFi service where we have lending and borrowing as a dual asset protocol. Okay, and we have industry best platform. Our protocol is live for more than a year now, and we are recently launching the Omnis, which is the UniLend version 2 on our protocol. It's an extensive protocol where we want to revolutionize the DeFi market, what we call DeFi 2.0. And so till now, every lending and borrowing protocol limited the capacity of ERC20 assets out there, where to few certain assets only. And with UniLend permissionless nature, we want to break this barrier and bring lending and borrowing and flash loan to each one of the assets there. Quick introduction about me. I handle product at UniLend. I've been a full stack developer for more than 8 years now. And yeah, I majorly look at how we build product and protocol with my other co-founders in the team, Suryansh and Tarun. So we are the team which manage the product.
Fantastic. And Vishal, do you want to touch a bit about your background and what you do at UniLend?
Yeah, sure, man. So basically, I'm exploring the crypto space and blockchain space since 2014. I've started my career in computer education, and then further I've indulged in many IT-related companies and projects. But finally, I realized that cryptocurrency is gonna be the massive industry for sure, and that's how industries follows right now. And yes, I'm leading community in UniLand Finance. That's that's it from my side.
And so, I have tons of questions about your company, but the first one that I want to do, and this one would be product related, is,
Uh,
when you go to your website, you can see that you're powered by Polygon. And I know that your CEO was originally the CMO at Polygon when it started. So I see the synergies there. But it also says Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. So I wanted to know about how have you managed that interoperability? What do you mean is your tokenization built across all three chains? Can you give us a
mhm.
little more about that section?
Sure. So a year back when we launched, so our mainnet launch happened on Ethereum, and over the journey we launched on Polygon as well as BSC, and now we are on Moon River also. We are supporting Polka ecosystem as well. So what we realized that so DeFi lending is not limited to one network. Okay, there's an ecosystem being built into blockchain, which is can be limited to Polygon only, or can be limited to Moon River only. And UniLand from the very beginning has been very community oriented. We have listened to what our community wants, and all the change that we have launched on, okay, have been based on what community has voiced out. So initially, when the Polygon or the Matic team was just hyped and they were launching so many great technologies on the side chain, we were looking forward to building on Polygon. So we launched on Polygon, and similarly PSC, and now Polygon. We recently saw that Polka auction happening. So Moon River was another great chain for that. Regarding how the platform is, so platform a smart contract is live across the four chains, and so right now the V1 version of the UniLend is about lending and staking, and the V2 is about lending, borrowing, and flash loan. So flash loan is also there in the V1, okay, but we are expanding the utility of all these features together now, and they will be across on these four chains, and especially we will overlook at what other networks can UniLend be.
That's very, very interesting. And I do have more questions about product, but that what you've mentioned about the community and finding community market fit, as we call it, I'd love to hear from Vishal about how do you do about exploring or getting the feedback from your community that then drives product? How do you go about that?
Yeah, community is really pretty excited because what we have initiated in starting with the conception of thinking that lending and borrowing like DeFi services shouldn't be limited to certain tokens only. It should be available for each and every token. So that's was the basic idea from our side, and we are right now expanding the horizons for each and every token in DeFi space to be part of the DeFi ecosystem itself. So community is really excited because they've already witnessed that our landing and place loan protocols are right now working from like last 11 months flawlessly. So yes, they are excited about our upcoming V2, which is UniLend Omnis. Surely, our socials are growing very organically right now, and people are watching us as being in a very legend project amongst all ecosystem.
So actually, that brings me to my next question, would be of the V2 that's coming, right? So the UniLend V2 is going to be permissionless. So I want to ask about, can you walk us through how can anyone borrow any amount of tokens on the V2, and how can users pay interest on the V2?
Definitely. So even V1 is a permissionless protocol. Okay, we realized for DeFi to unleash its full power to the Web3 ecosystem, it's very important from the day one it should be permissionless. And over the journey, we made the entire V1 as a permissionless protocol. So in the permissionless protocol, anyone can go and start their own lending and borrowing pools, and that will is already in V1, and we will have it in V2 also. So, for example, now if you want to start a Bondex tokens liquidity pool or lending borrowing pool with any other asset over there, for example, Ethereum, okay, you don't need the governance or any permission from the Uniland team. You can just go and start a pool yourself. It's just like what happens on Uniswap, and that is what Uniland is doing for the DeFi and lending and borrowing space as well. So that's the permissionless nature of the protocol.
And just to be clear with everyone watching, we are, that is part of what we're going to implement as part of our partnership. And through partnership
Yes,
is, UniLend jobs will be available on the Bondex ecosystem, and we will be using UniLend as a liquidity and DeFi provider to provide all our token holders with those financial facilities that UniLend,
exactly,
like you
exactly.
said, those liquidity pools that are very much needed.
And
And
we
there's another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, we are excited to see how DeFi will be the backbone of many industries. For example, talent and network opportunity. So we have seen how Web2 had some platforms which were giving services in freelancer or talent network. Okay, but I believe since there was a centralization of power with how payments were done to the freelancers and everything, it was still limited. I think Bondex can break that barrier in Web3, and with the help of Uniland coming as a DeFi protocol in that, we can together give community a total strength of network talent.
You're completely right. I think the power of Web2 got too centralized, and they became data monopolies. And not just that, they also they're very rigid in the way that payments are done, right? One of the great applications of cryptocurrency, in your case, is providing DeFi and better kind of financial facilities to people, but there also needs to be better payments. Obviously, Bondex is a future freelancer marketplace, or just, it'll be a talent professional network that it will enable the exchange of labor between freelancers and companies. So obviously it makes sense that people at some point start getting paid in our wallet, and with the flexibility of choosing whether they want traditional fiat in a foreign currency, or if they want to then change those into different kind of cryptocurrencies. I think we lost Vishal. And
Yeah,
so I think it makes complete sense to head in that direction. And
definitely.
and as far as that goes, I'd also like to ask you around, there's a lot of buzz about the UniLend Omnis. Can you tell
Yeah.
us how that's going to kind of transform the functionality of your DeFi ecosystem?
Sure, sure. So we have given a very good, uh, I said, time to building the Omnis. So our V1 was already prepared a year back, around 11 months back. And for being almost a year, so our team, especially our CTO, Suryansh, was working on the protocol architecture. And in a DeFi, it's very important because there are so many risk parameters involved. So we hear about stories where a certain protocol has been, what we say, has been fraud. Okay, so it was very important to ensure that very secure protocol is built from the day one, and Omnis is all about that. Now, what are the core features of Omnis is that it's a dual asset pool model which works just like Uniswap, and so anyone in a permissionless nature can start lending and borrowing of the two different ERC20 assets. And it's not going to impact just any industry. It will be there for thousands of industries. So opportunities are limitless with what Omnis is going to provide to the world.
That's super interesting, and it makes sense that you'll be providing this permissionless. But I also would like to hear, after the interest are paid, I want to be a little more understanding about what the term flash loans, right, and lending when it comes to DeFi. Can you
Mhm.
develop a bit more on what that means exactly and how UniLend is going about making that happen?
Sure. So, Ignacio, basically what flash loan is, okay? So, major part of DeFi is all about over collateralized borrowing. When we say over collateralized borrowing, is that you are borrowing some asset, you need to provide a collateral, and it's over collateralized in sense that, for example, you are borrowing Ethereum, okay? You might end up paying 150% of that Ethereum price, okay? That's the over collateralized borrowing. But a new technology, which is called as in the scenario of DeFi, is called uncollateralized. Okay? You don't need to give any collateral. Okay, and I still borrow. So it's a single transaction of blockchain. So that is what Flashcoin is. So last couple of months, UniLend Flashcoin has achieved a volume of $50 million. That's a huge sum when it comes to industry, and it's one of the most cost-effective flash loans out there. And the kind of a flash loan which anyone can start for their assets also. Okay, for example, since UniLend is permissionless, okay, so people can go and do flash loan of Bondex. Because the UniLend protocol has the liquidity of Bondex, so no one is limiting that. And how flash loan has various use cases, okay, but the majority of those are right now explored as, for example, arbitrage opportunities. And there are tools like Uboost which are building interface on Flashloan. Till now, Flashloan was limited to developers only, but new projects, new teams are developing tools which is much more easier for others to use Flashloan. But I am very, very optimistic about Flashloan. I see it is something where a person with lend still can go and borrow. And
So it's a section where we're actually, if I got most of that, but if you could play around with your microphone settings for a second, just so we can get a clear audio, and
is the audio breaking on myself?
a little bit in and out, which is all right, but now it's much better.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so calling the part which I've already said. Okay, so flash loan is a new part in the DeFi, which is all about uncollateralized borrowing. So a user don't need to go and add a collateral. They can still take the asset as a and borrow it, and as one single transaction, they can perform operations on that and return the borrowed amount. It's very secure because it all happened in one single transaction. Okay, so and I'm very, very optimistic because right now only opportunities like arbitrage has been explored with Flashcom, but there can be numerous things which developers or people like us can build on it.
That's very cool. Well, it's very, very exciting about what you guys are doing, and I'm excited about the access that our partnership is going to provide both the Bondex users and the UniLend users. So maybe let's talk about that from a UniLend perspective. Your existing community today, if Bondex begins to build those kind of flash loan available on your other DeFi financial facilities, what are some of the benefits that they will have through this partnership, or
I
through
think
the
Vishal,
fact that,
would you like to take
we
this
will?
from the
Yeah, sure,
community?
sure, man. So the basic difference between other protocols and Uniland is very clear that we are permissionless. So if you wanna go to have lending and borrowing for your token on Aave or Uniswap, it wouldn't be available. Can have start trading facilities, swapping facilities on any dexes right now. But if you want to have full fledged of DeFi system for your token, there is no other platform available right now which is giving you the facility to go permissionless way. Your lending and borrowing will be start instantly. You don't need any permissions. So these kind of facilities only given by Uniland so far right now. Many of the platforms maybe after our seeing our journey have also promised people that they will start with as a lending and borrowing. But so far, we didn't come across any project or any protocol which are giving as much facilities to the any ERC20 token or BEP20 token, any matlab, Ethereum EVM compatible token, so which is giving by UniLend itself. So yes, this is the only and basic clarity that every token would be able to lend or borrow their tokens by just giving dual asset pool, as Saksam already said. This kind of liquidity should be generated on our protocol, and your lending and borrowing will start instantly.
Got it. Well, I hope everyone listening is getting excited about all the things that you'll be able to accomplish through this combination of products and partnership. The other question that I have is obviously, we're a talent network and we're the Web3 professional network or the Web3 LinkedIn. And so
Mhm.
as part of our partnership, UniLend's opportunities and employment opportunities will be available on Bondex. So I want to hear more about how your team is structured and how you guys look about talent, how you're growing and what the future skills that you will need as you guys take your DeFi ecosystem to the next level.
So, Ignacio, I tell you, I joined Uniland almost 7, 8 months back. Okay. And I found this to be one of the most agile team in the entire blockchain or Web3 ecosystem. All of us are very much remotely placed in different parts of our world. Okay. We have team members from India, we have team members from outside. And if I tell you, Vishal manage a big team of 50 people who are called Uniland Legions. They are the supporters and contributors into Uniland community ecosystem. Okay, and they are very close family to us. Okay, so I believe Web3 gives us opportunity for each one of us to be remotely present anywhere and still work and make an impact to the ecosystem. So Vishal is hiring a lot in the Uniland. I am hiring a lot. I've been hiring front-end developers, back-end developers, Solidity developers, and we are hiring UI UX designers. So there's so much of a hiring that Uniland is now doing because there's a clear saying by our CEO Mr. Chandresh Agarwal that let's get prepared because we are going to unleash so much exciting stuff to DeFi, and we are going to revolutionize the DeFi 2.0. So we need to ensure that we have those talent out there working in our team so that we can build product, we can build community, and we can build marketing at the right time for the community to experience it. So there are so many opportunities. We would love to tap into a network capital that you and the Bondex team is building and see how we can engage the audience there as a full time, as a contract, as a volunteers or the contributors to the community.
Well, fantastic. Well, you heard it here, guys. UniLend is going to have some fantastic opportunities for people around the world. Doesn't matter where you are, in a flat hierarchy with lots of exciting products that are going to revolutionize the DeFi ecosystem. Guys, there's two of you. There's one thing that we like to do at the end of our live streams, which is take people's kind of view of the market. Just as a disclaimer, none of this is financial advice from either of us individually or from UniLend or from Bondex. But we usually like to think, and especially because of, unfortunately, we're living through some uncertain times around the world. There's conflict. We just came out of a pandemic. Crypto markets keep increasingly being harder and harder to kind of predict. I think things are a bit unstable. If I had to say anything, people's outlook is not great. What are your take on the market at the moment, and where do you think it's headed? If you feel comfortable giving a prediction.
I think Vishal could have a best take on that.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Can you please repeat the question if you don't mind, Ignacio?
No, it's just. I guess a lot of crypto holders and crypto people right now, I think they're seeing there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So as part of we like to ask our guests, where do they see the market going in the near term? What is their view of the current market levels and conditions?
Yes, sure, sure. I'm very optimistic about market bullishness because I'm always bullish. As I've always told many times, whenever I talk to my friends, whether it's from community, I always tell you should see the linear growth apart from just seeing 2 months growth or 6 months growth. You can see that from 2009, where Bitcoin have just started in blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem, and right now you can see the pricing and impact so far, and the industry is growing very rapidly. Industry have good players right now, and so that I am always bullish about the cryptos and pricing. So yes, I'm really optimistic. So
Well, there
I
we
am a
go.
bit,
Yeah, go
I am,
ahead.
yeah. So I always say if markets are bad, okay, or markets are good, keep an eye on it, but keep your focus on building stuff. Okay, so there are so many opportunities out there, and I'm not just talking from the perspective of a tech person. I'm a tech person, but I'm talking from a perspective for non-tech people also. I see so many people looking for opportunities in community role, marketing role, design role. Okay, so head straight, look at the market, look for opportunities where you can invest. Okay, but your focus should be just about building, upskilling yourself, and I think that is something Bond is giving out to the world.
You're exactly right. I actually, even though we like to do this for fun, I think there's a lot of noise, and predicting the future on the market is just a
Yeah,
useless activity. If you were able to do that, you shouldn't be even be watching this because you've already made so many billions, etc. But it's
yeah,
about, right now, the funding and the demand for jobs and talent is here when it comes to the whole of Web3 ecosystem, and the supply is here. By you upskilling, reskilling yourself, and joining great projects that are building essentially the future of financial infrastructure and many, many other applications that will trickle into the real economy and change our world, you're going to
right.
be very successful. And you're also going to be helping change the world and working on the cutting edge. And in order to be ready for that, you need to start already learning those new skills, as Sakshan was saying. So be thinking of a builder more than your investor hat when it comes to Web3, because it's not just about money and speculation and the short term. It's actually about, the long term prosperity and democratization of the internet and its financials for people.
Yeah.
100%.
and
100%.
and
And
and so many exciting events are happening right now. Go participate in hackathons. Okay, we are also sponsoring one of the very good events, Eternals, by Defolio team, and we are happy to see so many exciting developers and non-developers are building stuff there. So I think this is a very good time to build something out, present in a hackathon, and if possible, win.
there you go. So that's one of the avenues, of one of the things that someone that has tech skills should be looking into, is joining Web3 style hackathons. That's a great way to highlight your skills, and you validate them for those employers that are there, and
Yeah,
usually, end up with a great
yeah,
job. So
yeah.
I encourage everyone listening to also look into those. And all right, well, we've come to the end of our journey. I hope everyone's having a good start of the week. It's only Monday, so everyone work hard and have a fantastic week. And thank you to our guests, Aksham and Vishal from UniLend, our latest and greatest partners that we're going to be taking Bondex and UniLend to the next level together.
Definitely. Thank you,
Definitely.
Ignacio, and everyone at the Bondex team for inviting us, and thanks for the community.
It's always a pleasure.